Good morning. It's Joe Romero, your Subaru Added Security and Equity Shield product partner for the Denver and Portland zones. A lot of the conversations I've been having over the past several weeks have revolved around overcoming objections. And while there's a lot of ways to tackle that subject, today I wanted to start with something that I like to call embracing the no. Now, we're not going to address any specific product or any specific objection. We're just going to address a way to get to a point where it's easier to overcome your objections with the customer. First, we have to understand that our customers are preconditioned to say no to us. We also have to understand that our customers are preconditioned to be afraid of us and maybe not even like us. That's a big reason why the customer interview is so important, but that is a whole separate training video. Another thing we have to understand is that as salespeople or professional finance managers, we are preconditioned to ask the customer why when they say no. And we are going to do that. We're just going to do it at a point where the customer is not expecting it. When we get to the end of our menu, it often looks something like this. We've done a good job on our menu, presenting the products, telling, not selling. The menu is tailored to our customers' needs based on the interview that we did. And when we get to the end, we ask this question. Do you have any questions about any of these options before I ask you to choose one? Which option do you prefer? It's at this point that we have to accept the fact that many of our customers are essentially going to say no, they don't want anything and choose the base payment. When our customer does choose the base payment or say no, they are waiting for us to ask why. They are waiting to justify the reason that they don't want to buy anything from us. It's at this point that their defenses are the highest. If we try at this point to go back in and try and close, we may have some success. You may close some, but it won't be your easiest close. This is why I say at that point in your presentation, you need to embrace the no. You need to embrace the fact they chose the base payment. Embracing the no looks something like this. We've still done a very good menu presentation. We get to the end, we ask the same question. Do you have any questions about any of these options before I ask you to choose one? Which one do you prefer? When the customer says they choose the base payment, I understand. Move the menu out of the way. I'm going to prepare some other documents for them to sign. I don't move the menu out of their reach and turn it upside down. I don't pull it into a file, put it behind me. I just simply move it out of the way in front of them, off to the side. Two things have happened here. I've surprised the customer. They were waiting for me to ask them why. They were waiting for me to come back in and do battle and ask them to buy product. I surprised them by embracing the no, taking that they accept the base payment, moving it off to the side. I've also disarmed them. Some of their defenses have come down. They're going to be a little bit easier to deal with when I do come back in to ask them to buy product. So I've embraced the no, I've moved it off to the side. That's surprised my customer, that's disarmed my customer. I move over, I'm going to prepare some documents for them to sign, whether it be title documentation, agreement to provide insurance, whatever non-financial documents I have to sign. While I'm preparing those documents, about 50% of the time, your customer will turn the menu to themselves, they'll look at it, they'll do something while you're preparing your documents. That is your invitation to come back in and talk about products and try to close. You didn't try and close initially when they said no, you're preparing documents, but when they introduce the menu again by picking it up or looking at it, that is your invitation to try and close. In the event that they do not reintroduce the menu, they have left it off to the side, you prepare your documents, I'm going to have them sign a few documents, whether it be odometer disclosure statements, trade-in documents, agreement to provide insurance, whatever documents that are non-financial, I'm going to have them sign. And at a time that is comfortable for me, I'm going to reintroduce the menu. And at that point, I'm going to bring it back out and say, Mr. Customer, I don't understand. Most of my customers that drive the miles you drive, most of my customers that keep the vehicle as long as you do, whatever you've gathered from your interview, most of my customers that have your driving habits see value in the added security. What was your concern about the added security? And let them answer the question. Or I'm going to bring the menu out and say, Mr. Customer, most of my customers find value in one or two of the products on the menu. Price and payment weren't a concern. Which two do you find the most value in? Whichever way you reintroduce the menu, You've surprised them by not trying to close initially. You've disarmed them and brought their defenses down. And at that point, we signed a few documents, and that gave me a chance to reload, think about what came out in my interview and how I want to close them, and then come in and close the sale. You've just softened up your customers so that it's easier for you to get back in and close. That is what I mean by embracing the no. Now, this is designed for a menu sell, but you can adapt it to a step sell situation. The point is that they're expecting you to battle them when they say no. When you embrace the no and take it, you'll surprise them, you'll disarm them. It gives you a chance to reload while you're doing some documents and then come back in and close. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Have a great weekend.